Hey guys, hope you're doing well. Yestin here from the Yestin Experiment. And one of my goals this month was to share more videos on meditation and my journey of meditation in terms of, what are the benefits that I've seen from it? Um, what is meditation? Like, why should we meditate? What are the different types of meditation? How do we sit? What are some of the challenges that can come up? And so instead of doing a really super long video on covering everything in meditation, which, that'd be very difficult to do, and maybe not as easy to watch, but I wanted to just do these bite-sized videos on meditation topics. And so the first one that I wanted to talk about was, what is meditation? Like, what does it actually mean to meditate? Because it's quite a loose term and it's thrown around quite a lot. And I guess to me, what meditation means is it means to become more aware of. It means to become more familiar more familiar with what is actually going on inside of us. And so meditation is this practice where we are becoming more aware of what is actually happening inside of us from moment to moment. And that can be what emotions are coming up, what thoughts are coming up, what sensations within the body are coming up. And so when we sit regularly and have a regular daily practice, we start to develop a more heightened state of awareness of what is actually happening inside the body and the mind. So what thoughts are coming up, what emotions are coming up, and we start to gain this ability to watch things come up and not get attached to them and not get affected as much, because essentially when we are meditating, at least when we're practicing meditation of breath or single pointed meditation, when we're focusing on something and bringing our attention to that, such as the breath or an object or a candle or something like that, essentially what we're doing is we're developing concentration. So we are focusing on something, and as soon as something comes up in the mind or the body, like a thought or a feeling or a sensation, and we become aware of that thought or emotion or sensation, then we bring our attention back to the breath or whatever we're focusing on. And so every time we do that, we develop concentration. We become better at focusing, because we train the mind to come back to become focused again and again. And so one of the benefits that I've seen from this is that I get lost in thought a little bit less as I meditate more. So a lot of our suffering, and happiness actually comes from being lost in thought. There's a really interesting paper or article. It was a study, and the title of it is "A Wandering Mind is an Unhappy Mind." And if we think back to times where, we've been very unhappy, a lot of the time it's when we're, very anxious, and where we go off on these thought tangrams, these loops, and we think of these elaborate scenarios of all the things that could go wrong, or we're thinking back to some situation when we should have said this or should have done that, and then this wouldn't have happened. And so we get lost in thoughts. And as we begin to meditate and we watch the mind, we watch it and observe it, going off on these tandems, and then we bring it back. It's like a wild animal. We're trying to tame this wild horse, bringing it back all the time. And as we do that more and more and more, we become more able to stay focused and stop the mind wandering off as much. And so we find ourselves developing a more calm and peaceful mind. And we also start to become more stable and more able to observe what's coming up inside of us in everyday situations, when we're at work, when we're having a conversation with someone, we're able to observe what's coming up inside the body, inside the mind, and just watch it and not get consumed or attached by it. We're just like, there's a thought, there's an interesting thought. It's not me, it's just thoughts, there's an emotion. And so we become more mindful. You heard that word mindfulness, and the word mindfulness is a funny one because it implies that the mind is full, but actually when we're developing mindfulness and meditation, what we're actually trying to do is have a more clear and empty mind with less thoughts, and that is what we can develop through mindfulness and meditation. And so that is basically what meditation is we're developing awareness, an ability to observe what's going on from moment to moment inside the mind and the body, and not become attached to it or push it away. We're just watching it like a movie. And so we practice this, and it becomes our default mode just to observe what's going on inside the body. And that, as a result, makes us happier because we don't get as lost in thoughts, and we have a more calm mind. And so we have less anxiety, or we're able to observe anxiety. And so we develop mindfulness through meditation, and they both sort of coincide with each other. They're very related. And so that is kind of what I wanted to cover off in this first short clip. I don't want to give sort of too much information. I want it to be digestible. And I will make a lot more videos similar to this in the future, in terms of how to sit and other topics related to meditation. So I hope this has been useful to someone. If it is, then drop a comment below. I'd love to hear what you think. And subscribe if you want to see more. So have an awesome day, and I'll speak to you soon.